Okay, good morning. Hello, everybody, and so glad you are with us here on a Thursday. Top of the hour, top of the morning to you, and we've through with that midday, and we're heading toward the weekend, and we got some football tonight.
The Phantom cannot wait for that.
More on that in a minute. Yeah,
I don't know. The good thing is that we got football.
Yep.
Yeah, that is confirmed. The bad thing is that the last 2 days of 4 games a day in Major League Baseball playoffs, that's over. There ain't 4 games. There's only 3 today.
Yep.
And tomorrow, depending on what happens, well, there's none tomorrow. Depending on what happens, there are 4 games again on Saturday. So, if you're a huge sports fan like me, this is October. And again, I never really thought of it in any sort of context until, like many times, many years ago, John brought it up. There's so many things in sports, and I've been a sports nut my entire life, that I never really thought about until I started working with John. One day, the first year we're together, obviously it had to be in October. John said, October's the best sports month of the entire year. And I thought, I never thought about that. But it is. And here we are.
Well, I think I surprised you with that because
it was smart. No,
I mentioned that baseball is now relevant. I mean, we got some playoff action, the World Series. Things are heating up. We got some great rivalries in college football. We got some good NFL matchups. Things have kind of settled. We know what teams are good, what teams are not. It's a great month. Weather's great. How do you not like October?
See, this is, some people in Alabama. I got a criticism and a compliment here in the first hour. Okay. People like Chris the Bammer on our chat line as the Moon. Yeah. Before we even get started, he said, my daughter asked, Daddy, when does baseball end? Now, I could be wrong, and I don't mean anything personal, but Chris the Bammer's in his 70s.
Really?
His daughter's got to be like in her 40s, right? Know that. It makes it sound like she's some little toddler going, Daddy, when does baseball end? I don't know, but there's
Chris,
so many.
Your chats indicate to me you're a lot younger, but.
Well, people say the same thing about us and our viewpoints, but that's not a criticism of Chris the Bammer. I just think, can somebody confirm that? He says she's 10. Chris.
Way to go, Chris.
Man. I thought John had them spread out. Woo. How about that, Chris? All right. Shut my mouth.
Love it.
Got a 10-year-old daughter. But here's the criticism. It's not against Chris the Bammer. I love that guy.
Oh, yeah.
But there are so many people in this state who are big sports fans. But they say that, but they're really not. They're big football fans.
I agree.
And there are people out there, Bama fans, Auburn fans, Troy fans out there who think I really can't tell anybody that I like baseball because they'll criticize me for thinking, man, you're wasting some of your fandom on something other than football. I'm all in on football, 100%. Love me some Crimson Tide. Love me some Tigers. And, man, if I spend any of my time in the spring watching Auburn softball, that takes away from all the time I spend with my buddies talking about, man, we need a quarterback that doesn't fold under pressure and stuff. They kind of think that you take away your football fandom if you like anything else other than football, or anything else other than Alabama or Auburn or something like that. So,
well, with basketball becoming popular, don't know if we can say that as much as we used to, because people would go to basketball games for the sole reason to get together at halftime to talk about football recruiting.
Right. Hey, man, who do you see down there? Is that 5-star quarterback down there behind the Bama bench?
With the way the recruiting has changed and how the popularity of basketball in this state has increased, We have kind of focused our attention toward the round ball for a week or two, which is nice, maybe a little longer. But yeah, football is what it's all about. And that kind of gets me back to something I've been thinking about since our last broadcast.
Yeah.
Brian Matthews brought it up Tuesday on our show.
When he said the Auburn offense was poop.
There were things he brought up, actually, but there was one in particular that kind of stuck with me. And I've heard other people say it and write about it, and I just don't get it. And I'm looking for some clarity here.
Okay.
And I'm not quoting verbatim, but basically in a nutshell,
he never does.
Brian and others have said, if Auburn does not beat Georgia in a week and a half, Hugh Freeze is gone. He's out. Now, does it matter if they lose by a late second field goal or some trick play, or if they lose by 3 touchdowns? I'm reading it. If he loses, he's out. And I'm thinking, is that just emotion? I'm hearing these people say things like that. I'm not pinning them all because I've heard other people say it too.
An emotional decision? You shouldn't make decisions based on emotion. Except,
but I'm thinking, I guess the big thing that I can't understand, Barry, is that one game the measuring stick? I mean, hey, if he beats Georgia, we're keeping him. But if he doesn't, we're firing him.
It's the oldest continuous rivalry in the Deep South. It's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge. To which John has always said, well, I don't see anybody in Georgia saying, man, we got to beat those Aubs.
Yeah.
But it used to be, kids, let me paint a picture for you. And who is it up there? Bama Pride says, BM, careful with the age shaming. That's our buddy John Dent. Age shaming. Bama Pride. Oh, that's not the right one. The other one. Yeah, he says, BM, be careful with the age shaming. That's our guy, John. John, I'm 63 years old.
Yeah, how about that?
Age shaming? You know, I'm old. Well, let me paint a picture for you young people out there to what John's talking about or asking about, posing out there. The oldest continuous rivalry in the Deep South used to be pretty doggone competitive. Auburn, Georgia, win one here, win the next one, win all of this. Well, Georgia's won 8 games in a row in the series.
Yeah, I hear you.
Auburn's last win came in Auburn's
was it that
last decent year, which was 2017. Auburn won that one. Jared Stidham played great. And then later in 2017, 3 weeks later in 2017, they met again in the SEC championship game. And Georgia won by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Wow.
So the last time Auburn won, the giddiness and euphoria of the win lasted about 3 weeks before they lost the SEC championship. That was the Jared Stidham, Kerryon Johnson year.
So was Auburn
won since?
Was it that fluke long play at the end that ball bounced around in the air and that Auburn receiver just happened to be there? And,
No. That one was in the fabled 2013.
Yeah, of course, that game goes into the fluky category, which there's been a lot of fluky games in Auburn football history.
As I once learned from a great sports philosopher, the Phantom, a game only belongs in one of 2 categories: a win or a loss.
That's true. Yeah.
Wins don't belong in a fluky category.
Well, in terms of a gambling aspect, you're right. There is it's black or white. That's what it is. It's salt or pepper.
But
one or the other.
Here's the point to what John's talking about. Is this a be-all, end-all? I don't think so. I don't think they'd fire Hugh Freeze if he lost.
Are they going to measure Hugh Freeze by 1 game? I mean, I realize, he's 5-13 in conference, and they were 0-13 on third down last week. But shouldn't it be? And there again, I'm probably diluting my point here. But shouldn't it be his whole body of work? And people go, well, yeah, look at it. It's terrible. It stinks.
And it's not just his whole body of work. It's the history. The reason why it's Georgia is because it's a big rivalry. But you look, since that 2017, Georgia won by 17. They won by 7. They won by 21. They won by 24. They won by 32. They won by 7 2 years ago, and they went by 18 last year. This used to be a highly competitive, even rivalry. Yeah. You know, Vince Dooley went to Auburn, and Pat Dye went to Georgia. You know, all this kind. It ain't been that way lately, and the Auburn fans are kind of tired of it.
Well, let me ask you there again. I've heard people make this statement. You don't base it on one game. Don't put everything on the outcome of one game and decide if you're going to keep the coach or not. You should have already decided that before they kick off, no matter what happens.
One way or the other.
You should already, Jimmy, well, he's done. Didn't win the game. He's out. What if Auburn wins the game, does not convert a third down, doesn't run the ball but 4 times the whole game, but they win it?
Gets a defensive touchdown at the very end. Yeah. And thank gosh for that defensive touchdown last week.
Are they still going to keep him? Hey, they won the game. Yeah, well, they didn't convert a third down.
We talked about this a little bit yesterday. I remember it. And, of course, John Dent, Bama Pride, brings this up. He says, I'm hearing that if Auburn continues to lose, Coach Freeze is likely to step down for health reasons. That's the way I think it would be presented.
No doubt.
It would be negotiated out because, number one, he doesn't want that to taint his coaching resume. Oh, he got fired. Number two, they'd negotiate it down because Auburn doesn't want to have to pay that huge buyout. So, you know, he's battling health problems, and believe me, those are not insignificant. And neither John nor I, especially John, is not downplaying that. But I think that's the way it probably would go down.
And there again, you know, I hope Coach Freeze and his health is as good as it can possibly be, and it's getting better. But we've kind of touched on that. You know, and I know it's a sensitive subject, but we've talked about that. Really, you know, last year, I said, you know, he just doesn't look good. And we found out what was going on. I think he looks a lot better this season than he did last, but it's still something that's there that he's got to deal with. I could see that. Not hoping that happens, but I could certainly see it. But my main point being, all these people are talking about if he doesn't beat Georgia, he's out. I don't understand that logic. He's either out before they kick it off or he's not.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's not that game.
One game should not determine, well, if you're going to fire him, do it now. You know, don't wait till the outcome of the Georgia game to decide if you're going to keep him or not.
Because
I just don't understand that.
And on the other side, I thoroughly agree with John.
What?
On the other side of it, what if they decide, man, he ain't the guy? We are tired of him. God, I tell you what, we're gonna pull the plug right after the Georgia game. And Freeze, as he has been known to do, pulls a rabbit out of a hat and wins that game by double digits. Everybody's rolling Toomer's corner. You know, we're back on top against Georgia. Wait a minute, you firing him? Wait, no, not now. You know, don't give him, if you're going to do it, like John said, if you're going to do it, don't give him a chance. Wriggle off the hook, you know.
Didn't Sonny Smith do that in basketball? Were they getting rid of him and he won the tournament? Won the SEC tournament or something?
Many years ago. Yep, that's exactly right.
I got a steel cage memory here. I don't forget. Yeah. But, you know, I've heard, you know, when Brian said it Tuesday, I kind of went, wow. And there again, I've heard more people
say it. He was disgusted, man.
And I'm just thinking, man, one game? Yeah, you're right. What if he wins? What if he beats Bama at the end of the year? You're right. They're rolling Toomer's corner. Everything's great. I don't know.
We're not rooting for it. We're not hoping it happens. Neither John and I are sitting here going, please, 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 oh, please get rid of him or keep him. You know, we're just observers of the human condition.
That's right.
Over here.
You can't let him. I know there's emotion involved. I get it. I mean, do you think Jordan Hare's not going to be sold out next week? Sure it is.
Oh, hanging from the dang rafters.
Night game? Yeah, come on.
A little bit later on in the program, I said beforehand that today in this segment I got a criticism and a compliment. The criticism wasn't against Chris from the Bammer. The criticism is for those people who, I'm a big sports fan.
Yeah.
But I'm scared to care about baseball or tell anybody. I kind of like basketball because that makes me less of a football fan.
I'm not scared to talk about baseball today. Well, in an hour.
Here is the compliment.
Mm-hmm.
This morning, very quickly, skimmed the message board at TigerInsider.com, whose proprietor, Rodney Orr, will have on in the next hour. And Bama fans, two things impress me about you.
Oh.
Number one, big win over Georgia. You're not saying a word about the Aubs in the chat.
Are they focusing on the next opponent?
And that's the second thing.
Man.
They're talking about Vanderbilt. Bama fans before the Vandy game are giving Vanderbilt some conversation. Even things on the message board like, I am about done with Pavia and his diarrhea mouth. Kubelik said today that Mizzou and Vandy are good at running the football. Yes, they are. I mean, they are. A few factors for Saturday. That is from Salty Dog.
Let me tell Salty Dog and all the other TI posters.
They're giving Vandy their props.
They don't like Pavia running his mouth. You know what? If I'm not mistaken, the quarterback at Florida State ran his mouth all summer. And look what happened. That's
leading to my point. You guys got a big win over Georgia. You've won, 3-4 in a row? Yeah, after the loss to Florida State, you hated DeBoer. He ain't the guy. I don't like the way he dresses. He's too nice. Now that he's won a few in a row and looked pretty good, not super great, but pretty good.
12-1 in the hoodie.
Now you love him again, or you tolerate him again. What if Vandy comes in there and spanks that hind end? Are you off of him now? To John's point, because of one game, Vanderbilt's a top 15 team. I mean, what are we doing losing a? So, I'm impressed with you Bama fans. You are concerned about Vanderbilt more than you are obsessed with the Aubs these days. And I think that's healthy.
But Barry, this guy's running his mouth, and he's been running it and ran it 3 months ago. He's been running it 3 days ago, 3 hours ago. Florida State had a quarterback that did the same thing and backed it up. Is Bama going to let this guy back it up this Saturday as well? I understand, Barry, that there's been a continuous loop of the Alabama-Vanderbilt game from last year playing inside the Mal Moore building all week long.
To the point, the guy who said on the message board, I'm about done with Pavia and his diarrhea mouth, right underneath it, Bama lump posts. So far, he's been able to back it up with his play. Hopefully we can change that. So you've got to give him his respect.
Yeah. What is the saying? It's not cocky if you can back it up.
I think Joe Namath said that.
Yeah,
I think that's
so.
right. Yeah.
Sure.
So we are underway. We've already told you we've got Rodney Orr, TigerInsider.com, starting off our second live hour of the program. Not too far away from a visit with Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, AUTigers.com as well. Later on, the Phantom.
We can do it now if you want to.
The Phantom coming up. And we'll hopefully get the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Lots to do on this Thursday show in the beginning of the best sports month of the year.
Yes.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit, beers that won't fit, hammocks that won't hammock, screen doors that appear out of nowhere, flips that flop a little too much. That's why it's important to keep it simple. Keep it cool. Keep them coming. And keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry is an Alabama-based, family-owned and operated business that specializes in dry cleaning and laundry, serving the River region since 1941. There are 12 convenient locations across the River region. Find one close to you or call 481-1911 for free pickup and delivery. For 83 years, Central Alabama has trusted Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry. You should too.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. 20 minutes past the hour. Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, in about 10 minutes. Looking forward to his appearance as always. Bama Pride. Really? I didn't see this. Heather Spinach.
He means Heather Dinich. She's from ESPN.
Yeah.
She says Bama could lose as many as 2 more games and still make the playoffs. Playoffs?
Well,
you kidding me?
I think
Playoffs?
it's who they lose to and how they lose. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, a 3-loss team could make the playoff, I guess.
A 3-loss team will make the playoffs this year. I'll go ahead and say that. I don't know if it's Alabama, but that's going to happen somewhere.
You know, Bama needs Florida State to tighten up a little bit. That loss to UVA Friday night, not good.
Yeah.
They need to beat Miami at home. They're an underdog at home, I believe. Miami's the favorite in that game. I'm surprised game day's not there instead of Tuscaloosa.
I am too, especially with the possibility of, Florida State losing the game on a kick wide right.
I don't know who makes those decisions, but hasn't game day been to Tuscaloosa enough?
No kidding. Truth be known.
Have they not spread the love out a little bit?
Amen, brother. Preach to the congregation.
Hey, Chris, will you just wait to see what the Phantom says about that game on Friday instead of what Senator Feinbaum says, as you say? You just wait till Friday, Chris. Don't jump the gun on that game just yet. I have a feeling we'll break that down a little bit more as we get closer to the end of the week. Now, Sam Houston is at New Mexico State tonight for Thursday night college football.
Las Cruces, baby.
Yeah, never been. I've never set foot in the state of New Mexico. I've flown over it many times. The state.
I've been there 3 times. 4?
I got to put that on my bucket list. I think it's ultra liberal out there. That's probably why I've never gone.
Well, I'm sure there are wonderful parts. I've done basketball in Albuquerque. I've done football twice.
Yeah.
In Las Cruces. All I've seen, to be honest, and it looks like a big cat box.
A big desert, right?
Man, you go, when we played football in Las Cruces, we stayed in El Paso, which is like 40 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
And the trip from El Paso, the bus trip from the hotel in El Paso to Las Cruces, looks like the moon. You're looking around, maybe you'll see a cactus, maybe you'll see
about New Mexico, you never heard about illegals crossing the border in New Mexico. It was always Texas or Arizona.
Yeah, we have. I think I read somewhere one time they did a poll, like 43% of American high school students thought New Mexico was in Mexico. So that may not.
Yeah, why don't they go to New Mexico? I never understood that. But my point being, I don't know what the number or the total is on this game tonight, but I am going to give a prediction of how many people will be at the game tonight.
The reason why, in case anybody's wondering, why John doesn't know the number or the total in that game is not because somebody's out or somebody's status is unknown, so they haven't put a number up. It's because John doesn't care enough about the game to look up the number or the total. Or
this is going to blow your mind. There's a better chance I watch the Yankee Red Sox game tonight. Well, the 49er Ram game, I'm going to watch that because I understand Mac Jones is starting again tonight for the 49ers. That Brock Purdy got hurt again. I need to double check that, but I think I read that yesterday that Mac Jones is getting the start. Looking at that number, it kind of indicates that the Rams 8.5-point favorite in the game tonight at SoFi. That seemed a little large. But I'll probably watch the 49. The problem there, Barry, I got to go to Prime Video and click this and click that.
Oh, my gosh. The whole The absolute horror. The Rams, I got an 8.5-point favorite total to that 45.5.
Yeah.
Supposedly big rivalry or something like that. But I do know it's football. I do know there are 2 football games post-high school and junior college that are being played tonight, and the Phantom is taking a real close look at one of them. I doubt, like John, that the Phantom even knows what the number is in Sam Houston versus New Mexico State.
Yeah, so, I do not. Yeah, Brock Purdy ruled out of the game yesterday because of a toe injury. I mean,
it's the same toe.
Man,
I mean, his toe injury has cropped up again. We call it, he got Hulkist. He got Hulkist, I mean, the big.
Yeah. Mac Jones going to start, third start of the season. He's already won 2 games as a starter.
Yeah, they lost Jacksonville last week.
Yeah. But did Purdy play in that game or did Mac Jones?
Purdy started. I guess he hurt the toe at some point in that game. I don't know. I was kind of focusing on the Jaguars that day. Well, we were.
I mean, man, the handicappers have no faith in Mac Jones tonight. He's already pulled off. Okay, one of those wins was against the Saints. Okay, I get it.
Yep.
But he beat Arizona as well. So not showing a lot of confidence in Mac Jones as the quarterback for the 49ers. Yeah, I'll be checking that out. Probably maybe a little baseball. There's what? Well, I don't want to give it away yet about baseball. We'll it's all about timing. So I don't want to give that away just yet.
3 games today. The Dodgers have already eliminated the Reds last night. They win 2 games in L.A. Everything else is still being played. If you dabble, like John from Wetumpka, again, Detroit and Cleveland, not at noon this time. They bumped it back to 2 o'clock in Cleveland. Winner moves on to the division series. At 4 o'clock, San Diego and Chicago. It's been a pretty good series, if you know what I mean.
And Barry, I might be.
That is at 4 on ESPN. Here.
But obviously, when they get to this part of the first part of the Major League Baseball playoffs, if you're the home team, you're the home team for every game. There's no flying back and forth.
I didn't think about that, but that's been the case so far. I didn't know it was set up that way. The Yankees are back at home. They play Boston all 3 at Yankee Stadium, including tonight, 7 o'clock. That series is tied at 1 apiece. Well, let's take a break right here. Jason Caldwell will join us a little bit early. We'll get him in. We'll get him out. Lots to ask him. That's coming up in just a moment. He's from AuburnUndercover.com, and he's next on Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry and Longshore and McKnight are giving you the opportunity to win a 1-carat lab-grown diamond valued at $500. Pick the exact score for either the Auburn or Alabama games each week. Limit 1 entry per person, per household, per game. You can enter anytime beginning Monday morning the week of the games, and all entries must be received before kick.
Don't know why that happened. Let's try it again.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry and Longshore and McKnight are giving you the opportunity to win a 1-carat lab-grown diamond valued at $500. Pick the exact score for either the Auburn or Alabama games each week. Limit 1 entry per person, per household, per game. You can enter anytime beginning Monday morning the week of the games, and all entries must be received before kickoff of each game. Enter by emailing your picks to longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. That's longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. And in the subject line, type in diamonds. 1 additional entry to win a 1-carat natural diamond valued at $3,000 will be up for all weekly winners to pick the score in the national championship game. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughan Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. Open 7 days a week, or check them out at marguerites.com. At Marguerites, they make it. They really make it.
The dreams that matter most happen while we're awake, because they're the ones that remind us of the places we want to go, of the ideas we plan to pursue, of the legacies we hope to leave. We understand you have goals to meet, and we want to help you reach them. To fuel your vision, and invest in whatever motivates you. So, we want to know, what inspires you? Synovus Bank, member FDIC.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Okay, we're back at it here, bottom of the hour on this Thursday. That means our man Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, hops on with us. We always appreciate his time. Jason, good morning. How you doing today?
Morning, guys. I'm good. It's bye week. That means we're getting ready to walk into the library here at elementary school to work book fair. So
Awesome.
So me and my wife are working a little book fair this morning. So in the car, ready to go in and get ready.
Well, we won't keep you long, but we do have some rather pointed questions. First of all, upon further review, Auburn loses at Texas A&M 16-10. What were the most troubling things to you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a laundry list of them when you talk about offensively, because it's you don't like to give away games that you could have won, and you feel like that's two in a row. Where I'm not necessarily think you gave it away, but you really hurt any chances to win, because to me you didn't have all the turnovers, but to me that felt like the 1994 LSU game, because it felt like Auburn was not going to score unless they got a turnover, and they got one, ran it down to the 2-yard line. It felt like at that point, if Texas A&M just runs the ball up the middle and punts, they're going to win, and that's what they did at the end of the game. So the biggest thing to me is that the lack of RPO, meaning the lack of R. If you're going to run an RPO, you have to run the football at some point. And and look, offensive line's got to play better. Jackson Arnold's got to play better. You got to see if that's the right combination, whatever it is. But if the other team knows you're going to throw it, it becomes really, really difficult to just drop back every play and throw the football. And that's what it's felt like the last couple of weeks, is that they're just teeing off and saying, look, they're not going to run it a whole lot. We're just going to come after them.
We know what Coach Freeze has said, but what do you think is going on during the off week as they prep for Georgia?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first thing you do is you look at everything. And I mean, I think that's tendencies. I think that's personnel. I think that's what are we doing? Because like the first thing you have to do is, and we've talked about this for the last couple of weeks, is you have to find something to hang your hat on. Like, who are you offensively? Sooner or later, it comes back to that, because if you get down to the fourth quarter and you have a lead, what are you going to do to win a football game? That's who you are. So so even like, old Mike Leach, like, they kept throwing the football because that's who they were.
Yeah.
But you have to figure out what you do well, and then you have to build around that. And so if that's running the football, and what they did the first 3 weeks, it's not going to be flashy, then that gives you the best chance to win football games. Then that's what you need to build around. They had to figure that out, because right now it doesn't feel like the recipe for this team is to drop back and throw it 45 times a game. I know you have the wide receivers, and you want to be that team. I don't think right now with Jackson Arnold at quarterback, and I think he can play and do some things, I don't think that's his strength. So if he's your guy, and if these, to me, it feels like it's gonna have to be more run heavy, using him in the run game, using the jet sweep motion. To me, it feels more like 2013 Auburn at times, and when you do something like that.
Ooh. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, because my feeling I didn't watch the game, but I listened to it all with Andy and Jason. The offensive line just fell off a cliff. The production, I mean, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, what? Yeah. Well, when your running backs only ran it 8 times, four of those carries were with 15 yards to go or more. So in my thoughts, you ran the ball 4 times. So that becomes, to me, an impossibility to ask an offensive line to block people that don't have any like, especially if you're running RPO. If you're running RPOs where they're not sure if it's going to be a run or a pass, and you throw it every down, then if the defensive lineman knows you're throwing it and the offensive lineman thinks you might run it, you're not blocking that guy.
Well,
and so I think it's been a really difficult part of that. And, look, they got issues protecting the passer, doing some of those things. But I think there's times when there's guys open, and you got to throw the football. I mean, like, it's everything. And I know the offensive line gets a ton of heat. I don't think that's the biggest part of this right now, in my opinion.
Okay. Fine. One more question about that then, though, and then we'll move on. What's the root cause of all the penalties?
Yeah, I think some of it is indecisiveness about maybe what you're doing offensively. Listen, Texas A&M is a really good environment. It is. It's not that loud. I mean, I'm able to talk to people on the sidelines. I mean, it's a great game day environment, but it is not going to Florida. It is not going to Tennessee. Like, it is not that loud. So to me, those penalties are coming from indecisiveness of, like, we're not really sure what we're doing here. Or again, but I think some of it too is you look down and there's 4 guys in a track stance and you're playing an offensive tackle and you're like, I got to get back here because this. So when you're in, third, the last 2, of course, they didn't have a third down conversion Saturday. They only had 3 the weekend before. The average yard to gain at Oklahoma was about 11.4 yards, I think. Against Texas A&M, it was 10.6. Like, if you're having to go 10 or more yards every time you touch the football after second, third downs, you're not going to be successful. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, it's not so much, obviously not converting on third down, but the position that Auburn found themselves in on third down, they weren't helping themselves out on first and second to make that third down conversion a little easier, a little bit more manageable. Jason, I'm sure you've heard it. I'm sure you've read about it. I don't know your feelings about it, even if you have one or not. But I've been hearing the last couple of days, if Hugh Freeze doesn't beat Georgia, they're getting rid of him. Well, first of all, I can't believe they would base that on the outcome of one football game. Basically, I mean, obviously the whole picture is not what they wanted it to be. But your thoughts about some of that talk I'm hearing about out there, is that realistic?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's any realistic part of that at all. It's year 3. You've lost 2 games by less than a touchdown on the road against, I think they're 2 good teams. I don't think they're 2 great teams, but the flip side of that is I don't know if there's a great team in this league anyway. I think there's a bunch of good teams. So look, you've been right there. Now, look, if you go out and you get beat 42-6, then all of a sudden this thing takes things to another level. I still don't think you're fired.
Yeah.
But obviously if you do that, it takes things to another level. But no, listen, if you're year 3 and you've had to rebuild the entire program, obviously offensively you should be better than you are right now. But you still lost 2 close games, and you're 3-2. You're not 0-5 at this point in the season, and so hey, are there troubling signs? Yes. Is this a team that can't go out and win any game left on the schedule? No, they can win any game. But you got to be better offensively. But I just don't think that you start making moves in year 3, because if you do that in year 3, it becomes really, really difficult to hire the next guy. And then you turn into, look, Auburn's already done this because you hired the wrong guy after Gus Malzahn. You get rid of another guy and you can't hire the next guy. All of a sudden you look up and you go from thinking you're there to you turn into Nebraska, and you're still trying to hire the next guy almost 20 years later. Those are positions that you have to be really careful before you make moves like that.
The frustrating thing to me, the offense was frustrating watching that, but frustrating as well that there's been 2 straight games where the offense has really kind of wasted the defense. I mean, the defense was balling out. Xavier Atkins, I wasn't all that familiar with him, but goodness, Andy and Jason were calling his name a bunch Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, LSU transfer. He was the guy that DJ Durkin recruited out of high school when he was at Texas A&M. So when he went into the portal, he didn't have very much production at LSU.
Right.
But he's the guy that Auburn immediately jumped on. But DJ Durkin knew who he was, knew how he played, and knew what kind of fit he would be. And we've seen him kind of he's kind of taken off. Robert Woodyard had a good game too. The veteran guy taking on a leadership role for this team. So yeah, you look up and you give up the first drive where you go, man, they go right down the field, and DJ Durkin said, look, there was a couple of busts that gave up a couple of explosive plays. From that point on, I mean, they gave up some yards because Texas A&M and Marcel Reed are guys that they got some playmakers, but they just continue to go, look, we're going to give up a couple of plays here or there. You don't give up the big one, and then it's really hard to move the football in the red zone against these guys. So, it was another really good defensive performance. And look, they're playing a bunch of young guys. They're continuing to grow. I think they got a really good football ahead of them. So that's the part of this where you go, look, rethink maybe what you're doing, because maybe after the first game against Baylor and even South Alabama to an extent, maybe you're thinking as a coaching staff, this defense ain't going to be quite what we thought it was. We need to score a bunch of points. Well, now you look at it and you go, look, just keep yourself in the game and move the football, and this defense is going to give you a chance to win. And so maybe that's part of the thought process as well.
We talked on Monday with Tom Luganbill from ESPN. I wrote it down. He said maybe it's time for Hughes' offense to just open everything up. Every position is now wide open. Forget NIL, forget experience. We got to get some guys that are going to play. Does that make sense to you, Jason? In middle of the season.
This is the time to look at things anyway. I do think that there's something that, in my opinion, I think could help this offense, and I think it's tempo. Because what you do when you go tempo is that the defense all of a sudden cannot be the exotic twists, blitz, all these looks that you're getting. Now, hey, you may go 3 and out in 25 seconds, but to me, it's worth the risk right now to give your offense, all right, look, here's what they are. You know what this defense is doing, because they cannot, you're lined up in 5 seconds. You're getting ready to run the next play. All they can do is line up and play.
Right.
So to me, maybe you go back and say, look, we need to get back to getting some tempo to see if you can get some rhythm on offense and limit what that other side of the ball can do against you. To me, I think that's something that at least I think you have to explore a little bit more, to try, hey, silent snap count, get to the ball, snap the football and go, and just try to see if you can get some plays, get some rhythm going on offense, because it feels really stagnant right now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see next Saturday night what changes, what differences we see in this Auburn team compared to the first part of the season. I'm with you. I'm looking forward to seeing something a little different as well.
Yeah, I can tell you this: when I was a kid, there was no better feeling of power and of possibility than whenever they took us from our classroom into the book fair, and I had man, Jason, it's one of my favorite times, man. We'll let you get to it. Tell everybody how they can access all of the work that you and the website put out.
Yeah, no, you can check us out, auburnundercover.com, part of the 24/7 network, and a whole lot going on, even though it's a bye week. I had pro day yesterday for Auburn basketball. Nathan King, a ton of stuff coming out of that. I think the big news there is, look, you got a 30-day window. People have been wondering about players. Stephen Pearl said, look, they're all present, accounted for. And, you had two of your most important guys come in and say, look, we're not going anywhere. We're here. Yeah. So got a chance to watch the team yesterday. Really talented. It's going to look a whole lot more like Alabama basketball has the last couple of years, and up and down the court, shooting threes, scoring a bunch of points. I think that's going to be a little bit more of the trademark of this team. So a lot of basketball talk, and baseball starts full team tomorrow, so have a little fall baseball as well.
Oh, yes. Man, awesome.
There you go.
Jason, thank you so much, my friend. We greatly appreciate it. We'll talk next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Yeah. On his way to the book fair.
The book fair.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so funny. He, he's got a little girl, cute. He and his wife, great parents. The book fair, man. John was like, let's see. Yeah. Do you have anything from Danny Sheridan?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's all. So Auburn going to run and gun on the hardwood. Take the over. Going to be a lot of points scored when the Tide and the Tigers play the Iron Bowl on the hardwood, it sounds like.
And I didn't really think of it in this context. I just was thinking they got to focus in football more on the guy in front of them and winning your battle against him. But he says they need to start running and gunning a little bit on the football field offensively.
Go NASCAR, Gus Malzahn on them.
It's just, I mean, you've got to have a quarterback who's a little more decisive. Yeah, I mean, he's right. He says you got wide receivers wide open and he's not pulling the trigger.
Come on.
Something's missing with Jackson Arnold. He can do anything you want on the football field. He was a 5-star quarterback.
Yeah.
But I mean, he has got to let it rip. There's
I think he just needs to look himself in the mirror, probably shave that mustache off and say,
that would add to his confidence, believe
me. Just rip off the stash, and I think your game's going to be a lot better. That's just my personal opinion.
Some people, like Tom Selleck, looks weird without a mustache.
True, yeah.
The mustache makes Selleck. Yeah. There would be no Magnum PI without the mustache.
Well, you got to have the mustache.
But for other guys, Sam Elliott, yes. Rosie O'Donnell, no. You've got to make a quick decision on the mustache, which is difficult because it takes a little while to grow it out. Took a while for me. Right. But get it grown, take a look at it. And if you have to, ask your girlfriend, ask your wife, ask either one of them.
Yep.
And if she says, then get rid of it right there. Don't think about it again. Yeah. I think he is at that point.
Yeah, I think so too. It's time to make a change. Maybe that'll be a change during the off week. We will see. Running and gunning, a little basketball talk as well. I knew I was ahead of my time. I've thought that actually about a lot of things in my life. I'm just ahead of my time.
As it turned out, I ended up being right. It just took a lot longer than it should have.
Man, I was running and gunning years ago.
Yeah.
People thought I was crazy out there.
They always used to say when John was playing basketball, look, Longshore, that kid's a shooter. Really? Yeah. What we need is a maker. Though.
Yeah, true.
John's a shooter. Ain't no doubt about that. Hey, man, I'm a shooter.
And defense, forget about it.
Yeah. Can you make a few? I mean, we know you can shoot it, but can you make it? That's what we're after, know.
The run and gun.
Yeah. Two things that John never really paid much attention to in basketball. Guard your man, follow your shot. Wait a minute, I missed it, and I got to go rebound it? We got big, tall guys down there. Let them rebound it and
big
kick
boys
it back out to me.
Yeah, I got to be that safety valve just in case they go off on a fast break or something. Then I'll hit them with a cheap, hard foul.
Why?
So he'll be doing that again. Yeah.
I was playing the ball. Well, let's take a break right here. More to come in just a moment. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Hey, folks, how often do you think about your roof? Probably not often at all. I know I didn't until I needed a roof replacement. And I call my friends at Roof Life. Whether it's roof inspections, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, Roof Life is there for you. They use the highest quality products, top quality craftsmanship, and if you're like me, your roof can be replaced in one day. So if you're in need of a roof inspection, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, get in touch with my friends at Roof Life today. You can go to roofyourlife.com. That's roofyourlife.com, or dial them up locally at 334-306-6712. That's 334-306-6712.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has F-150s over 16 grand off plus 2.9%. And your last chance for a tax credit on Lightnings. 17 grand in savings or 0% or $349 a month with zero down.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has Broncos under 35 grand. Bronco Sports under 24 grand. Rockies under 29 grand or $299 a month with zero down. And new Explorers 10 grand off or 2.9%.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
All right, back at it here, about 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Rodney Orr, the Tighter Insider, brought to you by our friends at the Destin Connection Seafood Market, the freshest seafood arriving daily from the Gulf of America at 3750 Norman Bridge Road, the Destin Connection Seafood Market. Dennis Mitchell is up, and Theotis tells us that Sam Elliott is joining the cast of Landman. That's a great series. Theotis, when does season 2 start? Because season 1 was really good. I'm ready for that series to crack back up. But Sam Elliott was also on one of the Yellowstone spinoff series, like 1853 or whatever the year was. He was good in that. So I think he'd be good in Landman. Just want to know when season 2 is going to start.
Yeah, we need to have a series like 1957.
Auburn
wins a half of a national championship.
It'd only be half a series.
One of the first jobs I had doing football play-by-play was with Auburn High School way back when I was just starting out. I did the play-by-play for Auburn High for about 7 or 8 years. And the head coach was a guy named Wayne Profit, no longer with us. He played on that 57 team. And he was kind of a gruff, he wasn't the easiest to interview because, he was a lot like Coach Dye in that regard, although Coach Dye was a little more talkative. But the one thing that always used to get him was if somebody said that they shared that championship in 57. He said, no. Yeah. They gave 2 you don't win a half a championship. No. They don't say you get half, you get half. He said, you won a championship, you won a championship too. You are both champions.
I think back in the day, Barry, it was described as awarded a championship. I heard that term a lot. I mean, you either won it or you didn't, but it was, hey, they awarded a national title to the Auburn Tigers, United Press International or Associated Press, whoever was doing. I don't know if Duncan or Lickenhouse or any of those people were doing it in 57 like they were back in the 40s.
It wasn't Duncan. Duncan is where you get your coffee. It was Dunkel.
Oh, Dunkel.
Dunkel. I think Alabama won one of those as well. Let's see. Rodney Orr coming up in about 8 minutes or so. Dennis Mitchell checks in. He says, John and Barry, I'm going to the Troy game.
Good for you, Dennis.
Saturday night, 6 o'clock. Need a full house against South Alabama. I'm geeked up. I'm busy this week. Tonight starts the first of 5 straight nights that I've got a Troy broadcast. We got volleyball tonight against Texas State on ESPN Plus. Volleyball tomorrow, Texas State, ESPN Plus. Football on the radio Saturday in the battle for the belt. Women's soccer on Sunday against Georgia Southern, and then Trojan Talk on Monday. So busy.
Let me ask you this. How do you call a volleyball game? Give us an example, a little taste of what the play-by-play.
Volleyball is actually pretty easy to broadcast because it's a confined space, and there's always something going on. It's a little bit easier to broadcast than women's soccer because women's soccer is in a large space, and a lot of times there's not any super compelling action. So, I mean, what you don't do is like in basketball, you call, hey, so-and-so passes it to so-and-so, turns down a three-pointer, takes it to the hoop. You don't call every play. You don't do that on television anyway. But in volleyball, less is more. The setter, cross court set to the outside hitter and the kill, and there you go, and give the score, and then here's the serve, blah blah blah. Because the action volleyball's quick. Oh yeah, as you know from being a line judge.
You got to be paying attention.
Out.
That's a lot of pressure.
But Dennis says, Barry, why did Huddle House close in Troy? What's the story behind that? I feel like there's 3 stories. Number one, the Huddle House was near and dear to my heart because Coach Blakeney and I used to go eat lunch there every once in a while. I mean, it's basically a Waffle House.
Yeah.
It was over there south of Troy on 231.
Toward Brundage?
No. Yeah, towards Brundage. Yeah.
Yeah.
South. And it closed because, as Jason Jones pointed out, Dennis, we lost Huddle House because we have 2 Waffle House locations within a mile of Huddle House. It is now a cool little seafood joint, though. Yeah, it's called a Juicy Crab, and it looks like a restaurant inside of a
Huddle
Waffle House. I mean, it's but they had a tornado come through last spring.
Ouch.
And kind of got to that a little bit. But the third story is, and I want to get into, this is not for on air, but I want to get into a conversation next time Dennis Mitchell comes to visit with us. Dennis, what is it about Huddle House? Dennis loves him Huddle House. Whenever he came on the program on the chat line a week and a half ago and said, are there any women out there who would like to go out with me? And we asked him, for the parameters of the whole thing. She got to be Christian. She either needs to be American, British, Canadian, or South Korean. Something like that. Church going, but she has to like Huddle House. And the Huddle House in Wetumpka used to be Dennis's jam. I don't know if that's
I think there again, Barry, I don't think I've ever been to a Huddle House before, but I believe Huddle House actually fries some of their food, like fried shrimp. I think Dennis has mentioned the fried shrimp.
They do. They do. Yeah.
They don't fry at Waffle House. Nothing is fried.
No, they don't have a fryer. They have a big old griddle, but no fryer.
Yeah. They put those hash browns on that griddle and kind of crisp them up, but they ain't frying anything at the Waffle House. It's, Barry, I guess food's healthier at Waffle House, maybe. Could you say?
To a certain degree. I mean, you're never going to, you're never going to win a Mr. Olympia if you eat at Huddle House all the time or Waffle House. But that's what's interesting about the city of Troy. It's not a big town. I love living in a small town. But you got 2 Piggly Wigglies, you got 2 Waffle Houses. Troy supports 2 Piggly Wigglies. The 2 Waffle Houses, Jason Jones, exactly right. One of them, you're coming into Troy from Montgomery, and it's on the left.
Know exactly where it is.
And you keep going. And about a mile away, you got another Huddle House right near the Troy University marquee on your left. I mean, another Waffle House. I mean, you got 2 right there.
Beautiful.
And they both are rocking.
Yeah.
All the time. So
no doubt. Got a Publix there in Troy now, man. They're going at it down there.
Yeah. Dennis is right. They do have shrimp at Huddle House. And John, you do need to broaden. It says broader. You need to broaden your horizons by trying Huddle House.
Dennis, I might have to do that. I'm not sure I'm getting the shrimp because that shrimp's probably been frozen for about 6 months. I'm not sure it's the freshest shrimp available, but hey, the way they season it, it might be really good. I'll have to check that out. I like my shrimp fresh from the Destin Connection Seafood Market. I mean, shrimp that was swimming 2 days ago is now in the showcase there at Destin Connection, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call ahead. Your order will be ready for pickup, 288-4272.
Yeah, Bill from Baltimore says, guys, I'm missing the second half of his statement. Why did the Huddle House close? Well, it's because it got bought. I understand. Somebody bought it, and they opened up
I've heard of this name before. I just don't think of these 2 words together. Juicy and crab.
Yeah, they got one over there at East Chase.
Yeah, I don't get it. I love crab meat. Don't get me wrong. Love it.
Yeah.
But I don't think of crab meat as juicy.
Juicy, yeah. Also this, Bill from Baltimore, any news on Dennis's love life? We haven't really gotten the word out lately. We got it out pretty good when he first, Dennis is salt of the earth. John and I cannot, ladies, we know you're watching. We cannot give Dennis any higher accolades and recommendations.
I had an idea for Dennis.
You love that guy.
Just an idea I'm going to throw out there for Dennis. I know he's a busy man. I mean, he's a loyal, longtime employee of Palomar Insurance.
Yeah.
But maybe just for a little while, think about taking on the night shift out at Hyundai. Just saying. I think you could find a lot. You mentioned South Korean women. Might be a good place to start, Dennis. That's maybe where I'd go if I was interested in that.
Night shift at Hyundai.
Yeah. How about that?
That was a great movie with Henry Winkler. It was also a great song that Lionel Richie was not the front man for.
He had left the Commodores. Yes, he'd already left to go solo.
Dude's name, John, no. What's the guy's name who sang lead?
Walter Orange.
Exactly right.
Yeah, the drummer who also did Brick House. Yeah. How about that? Oh, little Commodores trivia for you here today.
Yeah.
Speaking of music trivia, we got a minute before Rodney. I think we do. I stumbled upon this the other day. You remember a group in the 80s called Mr. Mister?
Yeah.
They had Broken Wing, Is It Love, and their biggest hit was a song called Kyrie.
Kyrie lays on down the road that I must have.
Which is translated to Lord Have Mercy, because I Googled it.
Love those guys, Mr.
I just remembered them from the 80s and whatnot. Their lead singer is a guy named Richard Page. And he was part of Ringo Starr's all-star band. Ringo puts these musicians together, and they travel around, and they play all kind of stuff. Right. And I stumbled upon this. I don't know where it was, but it was Todd Rundgren was on guitar, and the former keyboard player of Journey was on keyboards. Steve Lukather of Toto was on one of the guitars.
Love that guy. Yeah.
So it was a mixed bag of people. And this guy comes on stage. It was done in Nashville. This guy's like 68 years old. They start playing that song and he belts it out like he was in his 20s. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, is this tricked up here? And I could tell it was slightly different than the recorded version. But I'm thinking,
it's because he's 48 years older than,
But this guy can belt it. I'm thinking, geesh, man, this guy had lost a minute on his fastball. This guy can get it done.
All right.
And I thought, it's not bad. Barry remembers that tune and those guys back in the day when we were growing up in the 80s. And then they never really had any hits after that. They had one big album and then they kind of fizzled out a little bit. But and I always wondered what that song was about. Went and Googled it. Now I know. The internet's a great thing. Greg Rowley, you're right. That's exactly who it was. Chris the Bammer. He was playing keyboards in that. Yeah.
Well, we've already got one 68-year-old with a 10-year-old child, another 68-year-old who belts it out like he was 20.
Yep.
I'm loving the silver generation.
Hey, we're here for you. Now, I don't know if Rodney Orr is in that demographic yet. Rodney's about our age, though. Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. For some reason, Rodney, we got off talking about people in our age bracket this morning, and we're all about the same age here, but numbers just, age is just a number. It's how you really feel about yourself, and I don't feel like I'm in my 60s.
Well, let me tell you this, John and Barry. When I get out of bed in the morning, sometimes I feel like I'm in my mid 80s.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you this: when you get up and you get moving around, that's the key. You got to stay moving. Got to stay moving.
Motion is your lotion. I like that. Keep active. I always have thought that. Okay, Rodney, the main takeaways from the wire-to-wire lead for the Crimson Tide. And yet another win over Georgia in Athens, 24-21. What sticks out to you now that you've had a few days to look back and reflect?
Well, I think it's, we got to go back and answer the questions that we talked about last week. Alabama can go on the road. They can win a game. They can respond to adversity, which I think they did. I mean, I think when you look at the way they played, they came out, they started fast. There was you could see there was no hesitancy there. They were aggressive offensively, and we said that. We thought they would be aggressive, right? We thought that, and I thought they came out. They had some opportunities, and those 2 14-play drives, I thought they set the tone early. And I'll say this, defensively, they were not great for 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter, they really rose up, had some big stops, and made some plays. So I thought overall complimentary, it was a good football performance.
Ty Simpson's got a lot of accolades this week. He certainly deserves them. I thought Ryan Grubb called a really, really good game Saturday night.
I thought he did too, John. Here's the funny thing I got a kick out of was people were texting me. People were posting on TiderInsider.com They were saying, why are we running the ball? Why are we running the ball? I mean, they want to run the ball. Then you try to run the ball, and then they want, we need to be throwing it every down. But I thought what he was doing was trying to keep Georgia honest. And there were some 3, 4, 5-yard runs that I thought were really key in that game. And, I thought too, they obviously were kind of creative in the way they got other guys the ball, which we expected. To get Jeremy in the run game, to get Caden Proctor in the run game, it was considered a run. So I thought they had some creativity there that kind of tried to keep Georgia off balance.
I loved the play with Caden Proctor, loved it, but it was not just a trick play. I mean, schematically, I thought it was the perfect call. They ran it well. I mean, it was done really, really well. And it wasn't, an irresponsibly goofy play. I thought it took a little guts. 2 things. I thought it took guts to run that play, even though it was a good play to run because of the optics of it. What in the world are you doing giving it to Caden Proctor in there? And I also thought that that 3rd down conversion at the end of the game was a fantastic call. Both of them. I thought Ryan Grubb just thoroughly outcoached Georgia.
Well, I mean, first of all, the throw to Proctor. I mean, first of all, how athletic is this guy? I mean, he caught the ball like a receiver, and then he ran like Johnny Davis. I mean, he was, nobody wanted any part of him, and he was athletic. Did you see the way he went for the pylon?
Yeah.
I mean, he wanted to score now. But no, I thought that was really impressive. And, again, it was a big play that got him inside the 3-yard line and set up Ty's touchdown run. But, I think the call at the end on that 3rd down, the toss to Jam Miller, I really believe that's one of the best calls I've seen from Alabama in a while. I mean, it really was. It was well designed. It got Georgia flowing one way. It got Jam Miller out there all alone, left Ty an easy throw. In fact, I'm not sure. I have to go back and look at the replay. Ty might have been able to run for it, but it was a nice little play, certainly to seal the game. And
it reminded me, Rodney, of the play in the Iron Bowl that McElroy hit Roy Upchurch on.
Very similar.
Once you get the flow going one way and you boot to the other side, and if you can get the flow, that's like what Ty said after the game. He said, once we got them going that way, I knew we had it. I wanted to follow you up on that one from what John and I were talking about. The one takeaway I had more than anything else is the Crimson Tide has got a dude at quarterback.
Yeah, Ty has really come a long way. I mean, it's his command, his confidence. These were the things that we heard in August when people had an opportunity to observe the scrimmages, that how far he had come, and delivering the ball accurately and all of those things. Here's the thing, John and Barry, and we've talked about this for months. I have never, John, you asked me specifically about Ty before the season. And then after the first week against Florida State. And I said this, and I've always believed this. Ty Simpson has always had the tools. The physical tools were never a question. It was a matter of how's he going to, eventually develop that confidence, the command, and go out there and execute against a top-notch defense in a hostile environment. And we saw it. Again, we saw it against ULM. We saw it against Wisconsin. But what he kind of did on Saturday night in Athens is a totally different animal. And I never sensed, John and Barry, that there was any lack of confidence in what he was doing. I thought he was in total command. He knew what he was doing. He was confident. And you know what? It was an incredible performance. And, like we said then, 2 months ago, if Ty Simpson can make that progress, he's going to be one of the bigger names in college football. And I think we're starting to see that develop.
I think we are too. I don't know if it was our conversation last week, Rodney, or maybe I heard it somewhere else, that Ty in the first game against Florida State looked like a freshman, looked like a sophomore against Mo, a junior against Wisconsin. He needs to look like a senior against Georgia, and he looked like a graduate student to me against Georgia. He certainly has certainly been impressive. Of course, You touched on it, Rodney. I don't want to be the doom and gloom guy. Every Monday I have a list of things I write down for Auburn and Alabama. Barry starts rolling his eyes. Well, they won the game. Yeah, I know they did. But, Rodney, they got to get the running game more involved, I think. They got to be able to put their, let the defense know we can move it on the ground, kind of push some people out of the way. I know Alabama, had 117 yards, gave up,
230, 227. Yeah.
227. I think they got to stop the run better, and I think they've got to be more productive in the running game. What do you say?
100%. I agree with you. Some people said, well, why? I mean, you're throwing the ball the way you throw it. Why do you need to have a running game? Well, Nick Saban talked about before the game the importance of the running game. And I think if you don't think the running game was important, why did Alabama try to get so creative to find ways to move the ball on the ground? Because they had to. They know it's important to keep balance and to keep, if you want to play for a championship, you've got to, against a Kirby Smart type defense, you've got to be able to put them on their heels a little bit. You saw the way they adjusted in the second half. They played the receivers a little tighter, more physical. They were much more competitive on those passes. So to be able to run the football, it kind of changes things a little bit. And, I thought Alabama ran for 117 yards. Wasn't great, but it was good enough. Going into the game, I thought Alabama needed at least 100 yards rushing, at least. Mm-hmm. Tennessee had a 125 in that game in Knoxville, and I thought Alabama needed to get close to that, and they got 117. Now it was a creative 117,
right?
But it happened, and so I'm with you, John. I think that the running game has to continue to improve and develop some, but I am very encouraged with this offensive line. I'm telling you, I am impressed with the way they've kind of rotated guys in, and they're all playing at a high level. Wilkin Formby at right tackle, but he also played right guard considerably in this game. William Sanders coming in at left guard. Michael Carroll at right tackle. I mean, we could go on and on and on. Jackson Lloyd, the true freshman, got in on some key plays. I think he was in on the Proctor play. So they're getting a lot of guys involved and it's showing that they've got confidence in these guys, and we're seeing it develop. I mean, to have that kind of depth developing on the offensive line is pretty amazing. Now, let's flip on the other side. You talked about stopping the run. That's where there's an issue, because, I heard what Kane Womack said, 20-something carries for 56 yards, but the other 6 carries went for 180 yards. Well, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because you're giving up the edge way, way too much. I mean, too easily. And they've got to figure that out. And they did get hit up the middle a little bit on a couple of runs. But again, I go back to what I said in the fourth quarter, they really tightened up.
Rodney, before we get into specifically Vanderbilt coming to Tuscaloosa, what do you know about Quay Rousseau, and what's the impact if he can't go?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously Rousseau is it's a big loss, and it sounds like, the broken bone in his foot area. So he'll be out for, again, I don't know how long it's going to take him to recovery, but at least a few weeks, several weeks potentially. But it sounds like, as we move towards the end of the schedule, regular season, that maybe he can work his way back. Means Yonze Pierre, who I think is a tremendous athletic talent. Just, continuing to develop it. He's a great pass rusher. I think he's got that potential. So he's going to have to step up. And they used Justin Hill, the true freshman, quite a bit in running situations. I noticed him down on the goal line. So those guys, jump out too, because Jamarian Latham's out too. Yeah. But now I think that the younger guys may not have Latham's experience in terms of understanding the defense, but I think they're potentially they're a step up in terms of talent. To me, they just don't have the experience of playing build. Now, I'm gonna throw out a name here, and I don't know what his situation is. I don't know if he's going to get into a game. But now you talking about just sheer talent. Noah Carter. Noah Carter is a redshirt freshman. He hasn't played. Haven't heard a lot, but I know he had some impressive scrimmages. I don't know if he'll get an opportunity or not, but just remember that name in case he happens to get in and plays. It doesn't look like that right now is a plan, but you never know.
I think, yeah, that was good. Bob from Pike Road wanted you to go over the D line. I think you just did it there. So, Bob, thanks for the question.
Yeah.
For Rodney, if you have a question that you'd like us to pass along on our River Region Straw chat line, go ahead and hit us up, and we'll pass that along to Rodney. Barry noticed this. I have too. It looks like the Tighter Insider message board is squarely focused on the opponent coming up Saturday. I'm not seeing a lot of stuff about another program that's on an off week. I'm not reading a lot of stuff about maybe somebody that starred in a movie back in the 80s. I mean, they seem to be zeroed in on Vanderbilt, Rodney.
You know what else I see, John and Barry? I noticed they're not reflecting a lot back to that Georgia game. Last year, somebody asked me yesterday, said, this is the same situation as last year. I said, well, not really. Last year, you remember this, right after the Georgia game, it was a circus for a week around here. Mm-hmm. All they could talk about was Ryan Williams plays, the great play made at the end, Xavier Brown, how DeBoer had come in and just, 3 or 4 games and he beat Kirby Smart, yada, yada, yada. It went on and on and on. And Alabama was number 1 in the country, if you remember.
Yeah.
And I'm not hearing that this week. I think, and I even said this, look, there's no 24-hour rule after this Georgia game. It's immediately upon Vanderbilt. And from what I hear, John and Barry, that's kind of been the mindset. Right after that Georgia game, they turn the page to Vanderbilt. And we'll see what happens. But again, I do think they're taking the right approach.
Well, I do too. The subscribers at TighterInsider.com and the fans are giving Vanderbilt their respect. So's the coaching staff as well. And believe me, Vanderbilt's worthy of that respect, Rod.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I know people think Vanderbilt, they're averaging 49 points a game. They're only giving up 17 points a game. Pavia brings a ton of swagger. I mean, he's already beat Alabama. And they're a better football team. Everybody you talk to that's watching them say they're a better football team overall than they were a year ago. So you got to find a way to defend Pavia. You can't let him run free. You got to, you got to be careful when he's throwing the football because he'll scramble around. You know how he is. And they also have to find a way to defend Eli Stowers at tight end because he killed them last year.
Yeah.
So, Alabama's got its hands full defensively. Now, I think on the flip side of the ball, again, Vanderbilt's done a fantastic job. They're only giving up 17 points a game. They're only giving up 79 yards a game rushing. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
You know how much Alabama's giving up? Bama's giving up 160 yards a game on the ground. Think about that. Bama has given up double what Vanderbilt's given up.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt's given up, I think, 278 total yards a game. That's really good. They give up 199 passing. So I say all those things to kind of point out this is a really good quality opponent with that quarterback who now has that Manziel mentality. He's got the swagger.
Yep, and Alabama's already faced a quarterback that, as some people put it, ran his mouth all summer long. And of course, was the quarterback at Florida State that put his money where his mouth was. I don't think Bama wants Pavia to be able to cash his ticket either on Saturday. So they know what's in front of him. They know this guy can play. He does like to talk about his game. And as I mentioned earlier, understand there's a continuous loop inside the Mal Moore building of last year's Vanderbilt-Alabama game for these players to not forget about what happened in Nashville last year.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's important to certainly remember that. And I think the players understand that. I think there's good leadership right now. I think Ty Simpson is really, he's taken the bull by the horns. I mean, he waited his opportunity. He matured a lot. He appreciates the opportunity he has. You can tell by the way he handles himself. And I think that's really been helpful to this team, his leadership, not just his performance, but the leadership that he has, keeping them focused. And I will say, I think they're taking the right approach for this Vanderbilt game. It's going to be interesting to see because it's tough coming off a big win on the road like they had at Georgia and then following it up the next week. This is a gauntlet that Alabama's on right now. You guys know that. I mean, after Vanderbilt, you got Missouri and on and on and on. You got Tennessee coming up. You got South Carolina coming up, Oklahoma, LSU, Auburn. So it's a real gauntlet. It's going to be a challenge to keep them, keep Alabama focused.
I do have one recruiting question. In the class of 2027, I've got a lot of friends over there at Central High School in Phoenix City, and they're telling me Alabama got a commitment from one of the best linemen that has passed through that really good program in years. For 2027, Rodney, tell us a little bit about Jatori Williams.
Yeah, Jatori. Some people were just call him JT, but Jatori is 6'5", 320, has the size. He may even be, a little heavier than that, but he's got the great size, his power. He's an interior offensive lineman. He's ranked among the top, 100 players in the country already for 2027. So he is a fantastic prospect. I mean, when you go up against Ohio State and Georgia for a guy, he's got to be a real talent. So I think, again, here's the thing, John and Barry, and we've talked about this many, many times in this recruiting process. He's 2027. That's a long way away. A lot of things can happen, but it is great to see, Alabama pick up that commitment, because I think he's a fantastic prospect, and hopefully they can hold on to him.
Yeah. So I'm with you there. No doubt, big game. College game day will be on campus. And that kind of surprised me a little bit, Rodney. I thought they'd be in Tallahassee for Miami and Florida State, but they're heading to Tuscaloosa instead. So a lot of that fanfare and build up for that 2:30 kick. Are you surprised that Alabama is as big of a favorite in this game as they are, 10.5 points?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I can say yes in a way, but I picked the game 45-34, so that's 11 points. So I don't want to contradict myself here. But I mean, it's going to be interesting. Here's the thing, I think, John and Barry. I really believe this. The important thing for Alabama is they've got to play ahead.
Yeah.
They can't play from behind. They fell behind 13-0 right off the bat last year, and they just could not catch up. Vanderbilt had the ball over 42 minutes. Bama was 17-52. And Vanderbilt was 12 of 18 on third downs, and they were 1 of 1 on fourth downs, and that one was a touchdown throw.
Right.
So, I mean, these are key statistics. These are key points. And think about Alabama now, flip side, against Georgia was 13 of 19 on third down. So how important is third downs?
And never trailed in the game. Played from ahead the entire game.
You got to play ahead with a guy like Pavia. If you're chasing him the whole game, it's going to be tough, I think. So Bama needs to play ahead.
I agree very much. The words of Rodney Orr, Tiger Insider, brought to you by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. Rodney, how do people access all the information on the website?
Right. It's TigerInsider.com. It's only $48 a year, and you can get instant access with your credit card if you prefer. There is an address there to send a check. Gives y'all our premium information, but also you mentioned our All Sports Forum, our community there of Alabama fans. That's part of the package. So TigerInsider.com.
Hey, it's the best. Hey, Rodney, thank you so much, my friend. We really appreciate it. Great content as always. Check out TigerInsider.com for all the information. Rodney, we'll talk to you again next week, my friend. We appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it, John and Barry. You guys take care.
Thank you, Rodney, as well.
We hear breaking news from Rodney about some of the injuries about Rousseau, Jamarian Latham. John, we got breaking news from the Destin Connection Seafood Market. They've got fresh red snapper and grouper fresh in right now at the Destin Connection Seafood Market.
Yep, they certainly do, Barry. Yep, David's sending that out to us, fresh snapper and grouper, along with all the other great seafood items, the shrimp, medium, large, and jumbo shrimp. Certainly, they've got the oysters from Louisiana. They got the scallops from up north, and they've got everything you need at the Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call ahead. Your order will be ready for pickup, 288-4272, 288-4272. And you're thinking about lunch today?
Yeah.
That grilled grouper po' boy is one of my favorites. Go with that. You can't beat it. The Destin Connection Seafood Market.
Proud to bring you Rodney Orr, the Tiger Insider at TigerInsider.com. You've been patient. You've been with us, locked in. You're about to get rewarded. the Phantom's Daily Dog, coming up in just a moment. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
This isn't going to work. No matter what we say, some people still drive drunk. But we're Budweiser. Giving a damn is what we do. So, if you think it's okay to drive drunk, if you think it's something that's debatable, or you just simply don't care, this Bud is not for you. Give a damn. Don't drive drunk. Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet. Okay, we're back at it here. 26 minutes past the hour on this Tuesday. Rodney Orr, another great segment here with us today. Always enjoy it and appreciate the comments on the River Region Straw chat line. If you have a question, we'll certainly be able to, we'll love to pass that along as well. Also, somebody want to know our email address, longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. That's Delaware.
Arif.
Yeah.
Watching us on Facebook. Yeah, longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. That is for any question you've got, even when we're not live and on the chat line. You can email us and we'll get to it during the actual show itself. It's also where you need to go with your score predictions.
Yes.
Brought to you by Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry as well.
That's exactly right. Got to have those in before the games kick. It'll be Alabama Vanderbilt this week. Give us the score. And if you hit it, you're going to win that 1 carat lab grown diamond valued at $500. It'll also put you in the drawing for the 1 carat natural grown diamond valued at $3,000 for the national championship game in January. So let's see what's next on the sheet.
Let's see. It's the Phantom. It's the Phantom's Daily Dog. It's confirmed. That's what's coming up right now. Do we have any updates? John,
well, just a little zip in, zip out, if you will.
All right.
There was some comment about the Phantom going back to the well for the second straight day, losing on Tuesday.
Yeah,
with the Padres at the Chicago Cubs.
Tuesday, the Padres didn't take care of business. The Phantom told the sordid details of, if you're not going to do the job for me, don't even get off to a lead. I want you to be losing the entire game if you're not going to cover for me. That way I don't have any false hope. San Diego had a 1-0 lead, and the Cubs came back to win it. Yeah. Yesterday, though,
well, we went back to the well.
Again.
We did. We took the Padres again and on the road at Chicago.
This is the difference, is the Padres got a 1-0 lead in that one.
I was a little nervous.
Through 4 innings, 1-0. The difference is that they added on and they shut out the Cubs.
Yeah.
Padres, after the game, there was no post-game interview saying, hey, we want to thank the Phantom for his continued faith in us. You know, a lot of people had given up on us after we lost the lead in game 1, but we want to say, you know, thanks, Phantom, for keeping. There was none of that. There was none of that.
None of that. It's okay. It's
but
okay.
hey, you know, sometimes the Phantom just has to show a little belief.
Correct.
Especially in baseball, where they play every
dadgum day. All right, so
all right,
got a win last night. 3-0 was the final. If
3-0.
you did not know. Yeah, if you want to go cash your ticket, 3-0
or hit shutout.
Love it.
Thrown against the Cubs. Yes.
So where are we going today? Are we going to Las Cruces? Is that how you pronounce it?
Las Cruces, which is Spanish for the crosses. Not
New Mexico.
Cruces. Yeah.
Are we going to
SoFi Stadium, where somebody stole the hawks that they used to keep the birds from nesting inside the stadium?
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure.
Or will we go back to Major League Baseball in the playoffs?
Yeah, and I'm not sure what area of LA SoFi is located in. I know it's
Inglewood. The only thing I know about Inglewood is it used to be where the Fabulous Forum was, where the Lakers used to play. But if somebody, I've been to LA a jillion times. My brother and his family lives out there. But if somebody said, hey, man, you need to get me to Inglewood, like in the Californians on Saturday Night Live. Oh, you take Ventura Highway to the 310, and I couldn't tell you how to get to Inglewood.
Yeah, I just know it's near LAX. Flying into LAX, you see SoFi out the window. So
there you go.
I guess if you get to LAX, you're pretty close. No, we're not going there either.
Whoa, really?
No, we're not going to LA. We're not going to New Mexico. Barry, we, believe it or not, get ready, folks. We are heading back to the Windy City today.
Can't get enough.
Yes.
This is the deciding game.
Uh-huh. That's right.
Of the NL Wild Card Series.
San Diego Padres at Chicago. Check the first pitch start time, 4 p.m.
Yep.
It was been 2:08 the last 2 days, 4 p.m. ESPN, where the Chicago Cubs are laying 115.
Yep.
Padres are even here. If you want them, we're taking them again. We like the Padres to win the series after going down 1-0. They got it tied up now. They'll take it 2-1. They might even win the game 2-1 today. That'll be fine. Doesn't matter.
Yep. Jameson Taillon pitches for the Cubs. Pretty good. Yu Darvish, the Arabic Japanese pitcher, will go. Yu Darvish will go for the Padres in a big one for the Phantom. Yeah. A couple of the pitchers came up to the San Diego manager and says, hey, who's pitching today? And he said, you. Me? I'm pitching?
Darvish.
No, you.
Yeah.
I can't pitch. I pitched yesterday. No, man, it ain't going to be you. It's going to be you.
Mm-hmm.
Me? No, wait. Yu Darvish goes.
It's not Hugh Darvish.
No.
It's Hugh, like you.
Like it's Y-U.
Uh-huh.
Yu Darvish.
Yes.
Going, so, we believe in you today. So does the Phantom.
That's right. Phantom's on you. Padres again. They'll win it. That's the Phantom's daily.
I am shocked. Not just because he picks the same matchup 3 days in a row. But, there's football out there. The Phantom says football, schmutball.
Yeah, I got plenty of time for that.
Yeah, plenty of time. Not as much time as there is for baseball because they play 162 games.
Yeah, boy.
Got plenty of time, yep.
Hey, Dr. B chiming in today, Barry, with a little music trivia. We love music trivia here on the program.
John just had a quick little riff before the top of the hour before Rodney about Steve Lukather and somebody else, some old dude.
Foley,
Ringo Starr's traveling all-star band, and
David Page of Mr. and who was the
Ace Frehley?
No, I don't think Ace Frehley. Todd Rundgren. He was part of this.
Todd
group.
Rundgren, whose best hit was not, think of me. His, I don't want to work. I just want to bang on the drum all
that was
day.
Todd Rundgren.
So we got going. Plainsman Preston says Ringo's like 85 and still going. Greg
he
Rowley,
hit those drums.
Bama Pride said, did I hear correctly that Ace Frehley fell and injured himself recently on stage in his 70s? Yeah, I did hear about that. Too much makeup in his eyes. I think
Billy Joel fell on stage recently.
Yeah,
as well.
he said himself, I'm getting too old. He said, I can't sing like I used to. I can't play like I used to. Love me some Billy Joel. But Dr. B.
Yeah.
Love us some Dr. B. He says some Rolling Stones trivia on their song One Hit to the Body from the 1986 album Dirty Work. There's a great guitar solo to the end of the song performed by, wait for it, Jimmy Page.
I did not know that.
The greatest guitar riff in rock and roll history, Jimmy Page in Stairway to Heaven. Whew. And speaking of older musicians, Dr. B points out, how about 82-year-old Mick Jagger as dad to 8-year-old Devereaux?
Wait a minute. Mick
Jagger had a child when he was 74?
Man, Mick, you go.
Unbelievable.
Man, that is awesome. Man, Mick Jagger got an 8-year-old child. Man, that is amazing.
Goodness gracious.
That's good stuff there. Love the music trivia. Ty said he saw Steve Lukather and Toto is the opening act for Journey in Tampa.
Well,
I saw him too, Ty. Toto can still get it going as well.
I saw Ferris Bueller pass out at 31 Flavors last night. So, yeah, we have got a lot to get to.
Our young audience,
I guess it's pretty serious.
About?
Hey, listen, we're talking about Steve Lukather and Jimmy Page and Ace Frehley and the guy from 38 Special who needs to give it up. I mean, kids are going, what in the are they talking
man,
about?
I miss Baskin. I miss 31 Flavors. Man. I used to love to go get a scoop at Baskin Robbins. Man.
Yeah. Now they have little combined kiosks with Dunkin'.
Yeah.
You know, they're having you can get a donut, you can get ice cream, all same place. America's so great. Well, when we come back, we've got a lot more. No Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel today. We'll go ahead and let you know right now, Chris, but tons more content coming up. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light. Coming up more in just a moment.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's here. Victoryland Casino's Corvette 25K giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Drive away in a Corvette or win your share of $25,000 in free play and cash. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings October 3rd and 4th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Okay, we're back at it here. It is about 22 minutes to the top of the hour. And I know we've been focusing a lot on, well, Alabama's game this week. But you know, Barry, there are other teams playing, particularly in the SEC. It is kind of a
light,
condensed SEC schedule. Nonetheless, Let's see here. We got 5 SEC games or 5 teams involving games involving SEC.
There's one non-conference game we'll get to in a moment. Starting at 11 o'clock in the morning. I didn't realize they had done this, even when the game was played last week.
Yep.
It is not just Sanford Stadium in Athens. It is Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium.
I noticed that during the broadcast. I was not aware they'd made that change.
Yeah. Dooley Field, Sanford Stadium, 11 o'clock Saturday between the hedges, the Kentucky Wildcats and the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm not making any prediction on the game, except to say that if Georgia, who's a little bit raw after dropping one at home for the first time in 34 games last week, again to Alabama, if they're a little bit ticked off and they take out their aggressions on Kentucky, take note, Auburn fans, because what Kentucky is about to do with Mark Stoops is what a lot of you are thinking may happen with Hugh Freeze. It won't fire Mark Stoops, but they will say that he is taking a sabbatical or he is leaving the team for health reasons or focusing on his health, and he ain't coming back.
Yeah.
It's about that time, unfortunately, because we like him. It's about that time for Mark Stoops.
I think it is. I like Mark Stoops a lot.
Me too. Done a bunch for that program.
Yeah, he's done a ton, and he's the dean of SEC coaches.
That's true.
But I think his time's worn out.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do. I'll be interested to see what direction they go. Will it be John Summerall? There's a lot of buzz about that. If I was Summerall, I think I'd rather try to rebuild that program than maybe the pressure cooker of Florida or Auburn.
Speaking of Florida,
yep,
they play at Steve Spurrier Florida Field at Ben Hill Griffith Stadium at 2:30.
Okay.
Against the Texas Longhorns. It would be, as a man who knows from plenty of experience, it would be a very Gator thing to win that game.
Well,
I'm not saying it happens, but I'm saying it wouldn't be beyond the realm. That's an ESPN game, 2:30 Saturday. Bob Wischusen and Louis Riddick, who I like very much.
So, Barry, this will be Texas's first conference game of the year. That just doesn't seem right, but it is. 4 non-cons, an off week, and then they travel to Gainesville. And we've talked a lot about how pathetically easy Texas's schedule has been their first 2 years in conference. From a conference standpoint, they're playing a downtrodden Florida team, Oklahoma, which is they're going to play them every year. Then they're at Kentucky, at Mississippi State, which is better. They're a better team, I think. State. Watch out for State against Texas A&M Saturday night. Just saying, not to win. No, not to win, but
I got you. Well,
keep close. Vandy at Georgia, Arkansas, and Texas A&M. That's the Texas schedule.
The Oklahoma Sooners, who were top 10. Remember last year they wanted to run Brent Venables. He doesn't have it. We had our guy Joey Helmer from the Oklahoma website on there. Really liked that guy. One of the new additions.
Sure.
He said Venables is on the thin line, to use a walking on a thin line, to use a Huey Lewis lyric. But they're 4-0. They're 1-0 in the SEC. Ranked number 5 in one poll, ranked number 8 in another poll. They take on Kent State, who's terrible. Kent State's 1-2. I think they were winless last year. Why do you even schedule that game? I'll go ahead and jump John's line on there. And then we talked with CJ
Huey Lewis. Is he still out touring? Is he?
I think he's lost his hearing, to be honest.
Okay, that's a guy you don't hear much about.
Love me some Huey Lewis. 6:30 Kyle Field. Duncan about this. His brother Colin played at Mississippi State. Mississippi State and Texas A&M? Huh?
How about a little backdoor cover here? State catching 14.5. A&M, I mean, they beat Auburn. Really, they did. but it wasn't
Auburn
overly
beat
impressive.
themselves. Yeah.
Maybe catching A&M a little flat after that game. Got Florida up next. I don't know. Maybe Mississippi State can keep it within the number.
Yeah, maybe. Mississippi State 4-1. Texas A&M 4. Texas A&M is 4-0, and also in the top 10.
Yeah.
A little patience with a couple of coaches, Mike Elko and Brent Venables, Auburn fan, maybe. Well,
I wonder why they, and I know it's the TV networks making these decisions, but they have two games that kick off at the same time, 2:30, Texas at Florida, Vandy at Bama, both at 2:30. 30 minutes later, Oklahoma. So really only two games have their own television window, if you will. No other conference competition. Now, Georgia, Kentucky will have that huge big noon kickoff they'll have to deal with, which I think is Wisconsin at Michigan this week. Wisconsin's terrible. I know Bama fans don't want to hear that, but they're not any good. And then, of course, State and A&M at 6:30. I don't know if there's what's on Saturday night? What's the night game?
The night game on Saturday on, let's see, NBC's got Minnesota at Ohio State.
Boring.
Fox has got Colorado at TCU.
Ugh.
TCU is pretty good. Colorado, ABC.
Oh, Miami and Florida
State in Tallahassee. That's Fowler and Herb Street.
Yeah.
For that one.
So that'll be a good one. There again, I'm not so sure why game day's not in Tallahassee, but I don't make those decisions. That's not my call.
Here's what, again, I don't know how he does it. I honestly don't. In the NFL, we mentioned there is a game tonight. It's no, let's see. Let me make sure I get the right one. There is a game tonight.
49ers at Rams. Yeah.
And what, Herb Street's going to be in L.A.
Yeah.
Then he is flying tomorrow. He's going to be in Tuscaloosa for College Game Day.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they're not wearing white or something goofy like that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Then after Tuscaloosa, he's
heading to Miami.
Heading to Tallahassee, right?
Tallahassee, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's a busy man right there.
It is big. He is very busy. Barry, how about this barn burner? How about this catch-up game? If things don't go well for you on Saturday and you're thinking, man, I got to have a little more nightcap action.
Yeah.
Duke at Cal, 9:30 on ESPN. ACC matchup.
Yeah, ACC matchup. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler, ESPN, 9:30.
Woo.
We talk about how tough it is for USC to play at Rutgers, or UCLA having to play at Northwestern a week ago.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget, in the ACC, you got that. You got things like Duke at California. I mean, that's tough for the Dukies right there, you know? That is that ain't easy.
I don't know if I'm going to make the end of that game.
You got you got Stanford is off this weekend, but you've got Syracuse at SMU. That's an ACC game, you know. Whatever.
You know, I remember Hugh Freeze says we never want to schedule Cal again because they didn't get home till Tuesday, I believe, when they played Cal a couple of years ago. I think it was year one of Hugh Freeze at Auburn.
That was when Francisco Mendoza, when nobody had heard of that guy.
Yeah.
And he looked great. And then he transferred to Indiana. Now he's a Heisman frontrunner at quarterback.
I think that game started about 9:30 Central as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's just Auburn. They always get caught up with that. Like, nobody had heard of Francisco Mendoza when he led Cal to a win over Auburn. That wasn't in Cal. Auburn won that game, but
they did.
They came to Auburn and won behind Mendoza. And the Mendoza legend, such that it is born. He's now a Heisman Trophy frontrunner at Indiana. That's like Matt Leinart. I remember all during the offseason in 2003, we were talking about how good Auburn's going to be. And, man, I cannot wait for that USC matchup. They're coming to Auburn and everything. I never heard of this USC quarterback, Matt Lionheart.
Yeah.
Matt Lionheart, what's his name?
Yep.
And they came in and they shut out Auburn. I think it was 23-0, something like that. And they're like, well, I guess we know who Matt Leinart is now. And he ends up winning the Heisman Trophy. People have careers that begin at Auburn. And not just Auburn people. Other guys do too. Matt Leinart, Francisco Mendoza, you're like, hey, that guy turned out to be pretty good. And Tubbs and Freezer going, yeah, I know. Thanks
I think it was probably that really my career in sports media took off that day. I walked across the back end zone line inside Jordan-Hare Stadium and had that little twitch by the goalpost.
He lifted his leg. There was one other person in the entire stadium, and that was me up in what was then the press box.
It's like something hit me like a bolt of lightning.
I need to do that in front of Barry while I know he's up there watching.
Well, I did. I kind of came through the portal and I kind of looked up. I didn't want Barry to see that I was looking up, but I kind of peeled my eyes upward. Could tell he had his binoculars on.
I did.
And I said, oh, watch, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Got to that goalpost and kind of went, border collie and lifted my leg up on that goalpost.
It wasn't a twitch because he actually held it for about 5 seconds to make sure I saw. And then he saw me give the hand gesture, and he said, okay, he sees me.
So that's kind of, when it hit me there. How long ago was that? Huh, wow, gee whiz.
That was back when the press box wasn't that boat anchor in the corner of the end
I guess
zone.
we were still on in the afternoon because I think we were
on in the afternoon. Yeah.
All right, so I think Gurn Jr.'s got the topic wheel, I guess, maybe ready to go. We'll take a quick break and see what we got.
Yep, it's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit, beers that won't fit, hammocks that won't hammock, screen doors that appear out of nowhere, flips that flop a little too much. That's why it's important to keep it simple. Keep it cool, keep them coming, and keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry is an Alabama-based, family-owned and operated business that specializes in dry cleaning and laundry serving the river region since 1941. There are 12 convenient locations across the river region. Find one close to you or call 481-1911 for free pickup and delivery. For 83 years, Central Alabama has trusted Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry. You should too.
All right, welcome back in. Glad you're with us. Got about 8 minutes to the top of the hour here on the for Thursday edition of the program. We always want to remember, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. You can always check us out at Yellowhammer News, yellowhammernews.com. Video content. There's a write-up about the show each and every afternoon, and great other articles about politics, news, lifestyle, sports. Yellowhammer News is your one stop for all of the news of the day. Also, you can check us out on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, Spotify, Apple iTunes. A lot of people checking us out that way, and we greatly appreciate it.
Couple of things here. We do have our topic wheel. Yes. We do have 3. So a couple of things here as we lead into that. It's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Gurn Jr. is always busy curating those and getting those ready for us. It's all brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. We got 5 today, John.
Yes.
I like them. Here
to
we go.
spin or not to spin? Chris the Bammer says today. Well,
Here we
we're going
go.
to spin it. Yep. Let's do
All
it.
right. Here we go. 5, spent about a minute on each. John and I have not seen any of these. No idea. Like when it says stalemate is over, that was John in his contract renegotiation. Well, let's see. Could be anything. Stalemate is over.
Let's see what we have here.
What do we got?
You can be. Oh, let's see.
Oh, not the Warriors and Jonathan Kuminga. Say it ain't so.
That's it.
Oh, Jonathan Kuminga. That had been a stalemate with the Warriors. Pretty good player, pretty much a rising star, but he has skipped media days. He has skipped practice. He is pretty valuable to the Warriors. Also, the Warriors have signed a 1-year deal with Seth Curry.
Yes, they have.
Steph played for Davidson, was an NBA MVP a couple of times. Seth played at Duke, and he's been in the NBA for a long time, and he's like Will. He's best known for his more famous brother. So, gravy training off of that.
That's right. Hey, Bear, I believe the NBA cranks up this month.
Look at John.
Yeah.
Big baseball, big baseball guy promoting the NBA.
Yeah.
So it opens in October. The Pelicans will be out of contention by mid-November.
Zion's dropped a lot of weight.
Be ready for.
Come on.
Yeah.
He's got a new game.
Yeah. Now he sucks and he's skinnier. Let's go back to the topic wheel.
The Phantom's Daily Dog was very profitable with the NBA. Just saying.
Yeah.
All right,
here we go.
Let's see
we
what
got 4 to get. 4 minutes.
Away. Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama.
Winner take all. We're getting to that point in the best sports month of the year.
Is ABBA? No, it isn't ABBA. Oh.
Yeah. Jazz Chisholm, watch this. All right, left field guy drops it. Yeah, that was Duran. Dropped it. This is Austin Wells. Down into the corner. This is not the gamer that we're talking about. But right there. Jazz Chisholm dives in ahead of the throw. Yankees win. The Yankees win. That series is even up at 1 apiece. They'll play again in the deciding game. That is tonight, prime time, 7 o'clock on ESPN.
Barry, that ball goes to the corner. Ooh, that's trouble. That's bad news.
I know John's going to reference this if it comes in tomorrow. I'll go ahead and let you know. The starting pitcher for the New York Yankees, his first name is Cam. His last name is Schlittler.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you pronounced that.
You have to enunciate that. Cam Schlittler.
Schlittler.
Yeah.
It's kind of like those dogs that have a name similar to that.
Yeah, it's like that line from Cousin Eddie and his RV about the Schlittler's full or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go back to the.
Wait a minute. ABBA had a song called "Give Me a Man After Midnight." I didn't know that.
I thought that was Boy George.
Let's spin away.
There we
We
go.
got a little bit more to go here
Yep.
on the Gurn Junior Victoryland Triple.
Falling behind schedule here. We're talking about
tweet.
Tweet.
Huh? Tweet. What could this be about?
AJ Brown. I heard about this. Don't know any of the particulars.
Yeah.
They beat the Buccaneers. He said, quote, this is a tweet from AJ Brown of the Eagles. If you're not welcomed, if you're not appreciated, if you're not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way. He has not been involved in the offense. And he said, first of all, I let my frustrations boil over. I didn't speak to the media. I had a chance to correct my frustration. I continue to let it boil over. That's on me. I take full accountability. And then he says, I didn't mean anything by it. Which is it? Do you apologize for saying it, or do you say you really didn't say it? Come on, AJ. All right.
Hey, let me throw a little quick music trivia back at you, Barry, since we mentioned ABBA. One of the female singers of ABBA had a big solo hit.
Yes.
That was very different than anything that ABBA had ever done. You remember that song?
I do. It was written because of a flight to Sellers, Indiana by a local bank. It was from Agnetha Falkskog, and it was called I Know There's Something Going On.
Yes.
Which John said over and over and over again during the little Jetgate thing.
I do remember that. Yeah. So good. That's a good pull there on our music trivia today.
Yeah. All right, there we go.
Two more to
let's
go.
go back to it.
Yep, 2 more to go. Let's see if we can squeeze them in.
We have an Agnetha Falkskog reference.
Yeah, how about that, folks? Where else are you going to get that, ladies?
Nowhere else. That's what I'm telling you. All right, let's go to the, what is it, Aqua? Mom is the word.
Mom is the word.
Yeah. Don't you have to say something? Lamar Jackson's not 100%. John Harbaugh. Don't you have to say, out, doubtful, probable,
you do.
Whatever?
Is that today, though? I think it's Wednesday in college, Thursday in the NFL, that they have to release the injury report.
Yeah, he says, how about I just don't say anything? That's what I would do. Why don't we have to say anything at all? Because you got Guido and you've got Rocco over there, and they're saying, hey, you better
I posed that question many, many years ago. Why do they have to know who's injured or not? Because the gamblers need to know it. That's why.
All. Now they do it in college. Why? That's the only reason. That's the only justification. One more
to go. Let's see. Yeah, we can sweep the topic board here today. One more to go. Got to spin it to make it official.
It is displeasure.
Yeah, boy.
We go to the plains.
I've experienced that before.
Yes.
Displeasure. Ooh, what could this be about? Ooh, yeah. Aaron Boone.
All right. Jazz Chisholm Jr., he was not in the lineup for game 1, but he was in the lineup for game 2. Aaron Boone, the manager, said, I don't need him to put on a happy face on it. I need him to go play his tail off, which I know he's going to do. I don't want him to, I don't care if he's happy. I just need him to play hard. And of course, he had a, they lost game 1. Chisholm, somebody asked him, what'd you do after game 1? He said, I went home and played MLB at bat and I run ruled somebody in video games. I like Jazz. He's a very good player. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he will play hard. I mean, you can be unhappy. I ain't here to make you happy. I'm here for you to do your job.
Exactly.
There we go.
All right. Barry, tomorrow, I believe we are at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville on Cobbs Ford Road. Looking forward to that. Tomorrow, we have a very special guest after the first break, going to talk about the Dream Court. It's a great project here in Montgomery as well as around the country. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to get into Lee Sterling at Paramount Sports. The Phantom with his Phantom. Did you hear what the Phantom did last week in the Phantom 4, by the way?
If you didn't, you've been having your fingers in your ears.
And then Ralph Michaels from Wager Talk and the Gold Sheet will take your thoughts on all the big games over the weekend as well. So we got a lot happening tomorrow on the program.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.